Do you sometimes feel as if you're drifting along without a clear path, repeating the same patterns every day, maintaining a mediocre level of achievement? Would you like an elevation of your spirit? Do you have a dream, a mountain to climb, but maybe that dream seems out of reach, too far, too high? The incline seems too steep, the task too momentous. Your goal may be difficult, but it's a little easier if you're one step closer to it. I would like for you to consider climbing that mountain, achieving that goal. This mountain should be something that you've wanted to do. It could be the desire to get into the condition that you formerly had, or it could be a dream that is possible, but you haven't actualized it yet. This should be a goal that will give you some sense of purpose or something that you would love to be doing. You don't have to wait until circumstances change to make it convenient for you. Sir Edmund Hillary said, "People do not decide to become extraordinary. They decide to accomplish extraordinary things." Some goals are really just things that we think we should be doing rather than things that we really desire to do. Your doctor might tell you to adopt a habit for your health, and you should probably follow his advice. Work can seem like drudgery if there's no hope, a Sisyphean labor. Your attitude about your work can light up a dark day. Now, you might currently be engaged in goals that don't improve your ability or elevate your spirit. When you're engaged in those Sisyphean tasks, you need to elevate your mind so that those tasks don't weigh you down in a canyon of sloth and hopelessness. Mentally, you need to rise to the mountaintop, even during the climbing of the mountain. You need to create your own splendid universe. You might think that committing to a certain goal, setting out on a path to a larger good, will trap you on a course from which you can't escape and deplete your energy for other things that you need to do. But usually, that's not the case. In fact, striving towards a goal frees you in a few ways. It opens up the opportunity to achieve a state of flow, or as athletes might say, being in the zone. It frees you from relying on others to help your self-esteem, and it encourages an increase of enthusiasm, much like falling in love. Dr. Csikszentmihalyi, the researcher who introduced us to the concept of that perfect performance state of energized immersion called flow, claims that having a clear sense of purpose is necessary to attain the state of flow. Clearly choosing your mountain, then balancing your challenges and abilities frees you to achieve that excellent experience of flow. When you're really clear about where you're going, you don't have to rely about the approbation of others to get a sense of achievement. Every day that you make progress, you have the self-satisfaction of being a winner, doing something that's worthwhile. It frees you up from waiting for others to approve of you or change their attitudes. If your goal is to take just 3 steps for the day, then it doesn't matter if somebody else thinks you should do 5 or 10. It doesn't matter if someone approves of you taking any steps at all. I want you to think about the first few times you fell in love. If you're like most people, that love filled most of your waking thoughts. It elevated you so that you had more energy than normal, and it illuminated your world so that when daily trials and tribulations confronted you, it didn't matter. If you set a large goal for yourself that you love, it works in the same way, albeit without the hormonal emphasis. If your goal is to write that book and you break the steps down to writing just a half hour a day, it can fill your thoughts like a new love. You'll wake up alert and eager to get on with your day because something good is part of it. You'll organize the other things in your life. You'll make sure the prosaic things are handled so that you can get to your love. When you have a joyful personal goal and encounter conflicts at work, and we all encounter conflicts at work, those conflicts become less important. And your diminished emotional investment in those conflicts might just allow for them to melt away without a fight. Your love, your goal, elevates and illuminates your world, raising you up higher towards the peak of your mountain. Usually, the summit of love is immediate. When you're engaged in what you love, you're in love, you're fulfilled, you're illuminated, you're elevated. You don't even have to climb the entire mountain to reap the benefits of being at the top of the mountain. The important part of climbing the mountain is the transformation that takes place in the process of the mountain. If you can fly to the summit, you haven't improved your character, you've just improved your view. It's the act of climbing that transforms you. You can't run a marathon on the first day that you set it as a goal, but the daily practice and the process of giving up junk food for healthful food and giving up stress for full nights of sleep and giving up slothfulness for activity transforms your muscles, your attitude, and your confidence. It is that transformation that allows you to finish the race that wasn't possible on the first day. You might have to give up a bad habit or two to reach your goal, which just might be the transformation that will make you feel as if you're on the top of the world. Often, the most rewarding paths are those which are most steep. Rarely are the goals achieved in a straight line of action. You might have to blaze your own path with no trail to guide you. When the going gets steep, you'll have to do switchbacks. You'll probably have to cross emotional barriers. You'll have to face forks in the road, and sometimes after you reach a certain elevation and achievement, you'll decide to shift your goal and meet a new sense of purpose. The important thing, after you've chosen your mountain, is to take that first step. Sometimes one step doesn't seem like much, but it is the gateway to the second step and every step thereafter. One step won't take you far today, but if you take a few steps every day in the constancy of striving forward, those steps will amass, and eventually, you'll have climbed a mountain. From the perspective atop the mountain, the other mountains in your life are seen in a new light. You'll have the confidence to climb the next mountain of your choice. As Edmund Hillary said, you don't have to be a fantastic hero to do certain things, to compete. You can be just an ordinary chap sufficiently motivated to reach challenging goals. The important thing is to take that first step. Take that first step today and enjoy the view from the summit.